Yes, people, my name is Yamin Choudury and I am the Artistic Director of the Hackney Empire. This conversation is brought to you by Hackney Empire and Hackney Empire Creative Futures. Hackney Empire Creative Futures works with over 4,000 young people every single year using drama, dance, music, film, design, and everything in between to explore our potential. And today I'm joined by one of my good friends, a collaborator, somebody who, all things being good in the future, I intend to do a lot more work with in the future because I just feel like there's so many things that connect us and we haven't really had a chance to explore that yet, and I really want to in the future. But this conversation is with my friend, Ola Christian. Ola, how are you today, my bro?
Yo, what's going on, people? Yamin, I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on this.
Pleasure.
Real blessing, man. And as you said, we're good friends, and the opportunity to be able to speak on here with you is such a blessing, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. After everything, hopefully gets better and progresses.
Well, both of our industries are going to have to show a fair amount of resilience to make it through this. And people like yourself, you guys, and your company are going to be the innovators, I'm sure, around the change that needs to be made to ensure kind of longevity. So Ola is the founder of LEVILE, an award-winning recruitment base for professional and fresh talent in television, film, music videos, commercials, and productions. The LEVILE now has a database of over 5,000 professionals collaborating with directors, writers, content creators, producers, artists, and creative talent from across the board. You're trailblazers in the entertainment industry and having amassed millions of views on a variety of projects. You handle castings for independent and high-profile clients tailored to suit their specific needs.
Jeez, whoa, you summed that out perfectly.
I rehearsed that, my G. I rehearsed that. So, Ola, from your point of view, just break it down. What is LEVILE all about?
So, LEVILE for me is a platform that focuses on spotlighting talent in the creative industry. We focus on not just collaborating with people who are established, but rising talent as well, which is key to what we do. And, it's essential in our purpose to be change makers and trailblazers in the entertainment industry. So, we engage with a variety of people, man. And, Hackney Empire are great supporters, and yourself are great supporters of things that we do, as well as other platforms and brands and people in general. We're a platform for the people. And I think that's the key thing that differentiates us from other people who probably operate in the same field, but that's what we focus on. We're a platform for the people, for our community, for a diverse audience. We really want to embrace representation in the entertainment, TV, and film industry.
And that's what I love about you. That's what I love about LEVILE. And we were just saying before we started this, really is a problem that the industry shouldn't have. But while the industry has these issues around accessing really diverse representative creatives, LEVILE is so necessary. So you set it up in 2016. So you're coming, I guess, 4 years old or coming up to your 4th birthday. What was it that made you start LEVILE? What did you see in the industry, or what were you struggling with that this was a response to?
You know what? My story is a bit interesting because my background started off as an actor. So I used to do acting and...
I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Man. Yeah, so my background started off as an actor and, I was in different projects, done a couple of things on TV as well. And just from my experience at the time, there was a lack of like BAME, for want of a better word, BAME roles on TV for Black people, Asian people. And for me, it was okay to find bookings. I'm a tall guy with a deep voice. There weren't that many people acting at the time that looked like me. So if I was auditioning, there was, there were roles available and maybe the same 10 people would be at every audition. And if you're the best out of the 10, you'll get the role. But what I was noticing was my peers, they were struggling, especially Black females and a lot of my Asian friends as well. They were struggling to get roles or even auditions for big projects. And for me, it was important to kind of encourage or figure out a way where we can support these people, right? And when I was looking online, it wasn't really a platform that encouraged actors who wanted to audition, or if you want to find out more information about auditioning for bigger projects, there wasn't really anything, you know. There was just, you know, Spotlight and other recruitment sites for actors, which were just generic, you know, they're catered towards a particular demographic. And I thought, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to create a platform where we can support people like myself. You know, you're on the come up, you're in the industry, you're working hard, you're auditioning every day, you know, and other people may just be stuck at home, just waiting for that first opportunity. So from there, I decided to create the platform. So what we did was shoot monologues and headshots for actors online. One of our headshots went viral on Twitter, which enabled us to kind of get quite a bit of traction. Then from there, we used it for our advantage to build our database. People wanted to get involved in the headshots and monologues. And from there, it just naturally grew from headshots, monologues, castings, from short films, collaborations with people producing their first short film at university, to then doing commercials and music videos, and then bigger projects, and then working with established UK stars now, where back in the day they want to come up. So that's kind of how our platform came about. It started off with me being an actor, seeing that there was an opportunity, and I thought I'll make the most out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that connected us right at the beginning was that I could tell you were passionate about making sure that your platform was creating access points for, and I don't like to talk in absolutes or like broad brushstrokes, but for people like us, you know, people who are underrepresented. And also what I found really interesting about speaking to you the first time was you talked about it very much from our industry point of view. So this isn't about diversity as an agenda in terms of box ticking, but this is about strengthening the sector through the shared ability and experience of our communities who don't have access otherwise.
Exactly that.
And your resume is incredibly impressive, and the people that you've worked with is really, really impressive. In terms of, because you work with these really high profile artists and organizations, how has the industry been impacted by the coronavirus? How is the industry feeling? How are you feeling about it?
In terms of the industry, I feel like, you know, coronavirus has had a negative effect just globally, you know, across all sectors, from sports to music to TV and film. But within our industry, I feel like a lot of people have had to almost down their tools and stop working. And it's hard for actors or people in production to get jobs going. Like for us, we had, you know, I'm sure like you as well, there was a lot of jobs that were scheduled to do in March, April, and all of a sudden everything's just been wiped. The rug's been pulled underneath your feet, and you kind of had to be innovative to maintain or sustain anything that you're doing. And it's impacted us, you know, I would say negatively, but for me, it's always tough to just focus on the negatives. I feel like, you know, even though we've impacted, some people have lost, you know, loved ones, and some people have lost their lives, which is really sad. And, you know, I think it's important for us to mention those people.
100%.
We have to also look at the other side as well. You know, now is a great time to zero in and double down on things that you may have missed before, and focus on being innovative and finding solutions to any problems that we have. You know, I feel like there's two types of people that are going to come out of this situation. There's people that are going to say, coronavirus has made it hard for me. It's affected me in a negative way. I'm not working. I can't do anything. I'm at home. I'm just going to watch Netflix. And there's the other type of people that are going to do what you're doing. You know, I'm going to create a podcast or interview series, or I'm going to create some content online. I'm going to engage with people. I'm going to network with individuals. And I feel like it's important to focus on that second part, where you can be creative, you can network with people online. Everyone's at home, talk to people. And yeah, I would say that mainly, but you know, at the same time, it is a difficult time. I feel people need to really understand that everybody needs support. You know, people need to adhere to social distancing rules and follow the advice provided by the World Health Organization. And yeah, just continue to be smart, you know, in this time, because nothing like this has ever happened before, and it may never happen again. This is a very, very, very unique time. But the impact on our industry has been tough. A lot of money has been lost for a lot of companies, and you know, hopefully we can get back on our feet eventually. But the problem with this situation that we spoke about ages ago was we don't know what's going to happen in the future. When's the end point? You know, like when can we get back on our feet? When do we know we can start, you know, engaging people and connecting with other organizations, businesses, people? We don't know. You know, it can go straight up into next year before anything returns back to normal. We're in a big, big recession right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm struggling with right now? So last week I had quite a good week, actually. I thought, you know, I was feeling more up. I was feeling more motivated. And we knew on the grapevine that there was going to be some kind of announcement on, like, we were expecting it to be the 11th or the 12th, turned out to be the 10th. And the government made the announcement about kind of next steps. And I think myself, without wanting to overtly get political, because we don't have the time to dive into it, I don't really want to just touch on it and leave it. But I will say this: I think the announcement took a lot of the wind out of a lot of people's sails. You know what I mean? I felt it was quite demotivating because it just felt even more confusing. I left feeling more confused, and so this week I've been having it's been a rough week emotionally, mentally. I feel like I don't really know, a little bit directionless. And I think that one thing that you and I definitely have in common is that we're very driven by and motivated by what we're passionate about. And this week I've definitely felt like that hasn't been the case. And so to come back to it, what I'm struggling with is I'm getting a lot of phone calls from people who are feeling the same way. And I think it's natural that they would turn to people like you and I, as people maybe who are just slightly older in the industry, because we both work with such emerging talent and kind of young creators and artists. As people who are a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, they would turn to people like us. And they want words of reassurance. And I don't have it to give them. And that's scary for me because I like being able to be a support structure for people. That's where I definitely feel valuable in that respect, in terms of wanting to give people the support that you probably didn't have and I definitely didn't have.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what to say to people other than it is that kind of looking back inwards now to find that internal motivation and resilience and drive in order to be able to share that with others.
Yeah.
So in order for me to create a kind of non-toxic environment around me, I need to really look at how I can work with others in the small things that I have control over to be able to create positive change. Yeah. So even forums like this, me and you having this discussion, being able to just hold on to the positive and ensure that we don't, although we're entitled to feel however we feel, we don't lose sight that there will be a next stage for all of us. We just don't know when that is.
Yeah.
I think particularly for BAME, for lack of a better term, as you said, or diverse or underrepresented groups, is particularly worrying for industries like ours, where it was already an issue pre-COVID-19. We can only imagine it's going to be more of an issue post-COVID-19.
Yeah.
What advice do you have? Do you agree with that, first of all? And then what do we need to do as a sector, or what advice do you have for emerging artists coming into the sector to cope with this?
Yeah, so that you touched on so many fantastic points, man. And, you know, I fully agree with you, you know, when you say me and you have that similarity of we're really passionate about our industry. In terms of what people can do coming into the industry, I'll answer that question first. I think everybody needs some sort of support system. And as you mentioned, me and you are looked at as people in this industry for, you know, as a shoulder to lean on.
Yeah.
People have questions they want to ask. They come to Yamin, they come to an Ola, and they say, like, what do I do now? And when me and you don't have the answers, is like, where can they go to? You know, But the only thing that we can focus on is trying to provide some sort of framework or structure for these young creatives or whoever they may be, you know, something to keep their minds occupied and keep their brains engaged. And sometimes people heavily focus on creative things to do. Sometimes it's not that. You can tell a young person, maintain fitness. Go outside and do some exercise for an hour and a half. That can make you feel better. Go and spend some time with your siblings or your loved ones. That can make you feel better. It doesn't always have to be a creative solution in that sense. And in relation to what you said before with for want of a better term, again, the BAME community struggling before and now what's going to happen now. Yes, we were struggling before, but in a way, things were slowly improving. There was more opportunities. Businesses and organizations or big brands or whatever you want to call them, they were providing, they were starting to be more inclusive with organizations or people like me and you with content that we want to make. I'm not saying that they were doing it on an equal level playing field like they're doing it with everyone else, but things were slowly getting better. So even when you turned on your TV, you started to see a lot more representation in commercials and in popular TV shows where, you know, now you can see an Asian person, you can see a black person. But at the same time, me and you were both wise to know a lot of these places are just ticking boxes, you know, and they're just, you know, filling a quota. Are they doing it for genuine reasons? Now we're entering into this next phase. Let's see how genuine these organizations and big institutions are in relation to supporting our creative industry, especially for BAME and diverse talent, because now it's harder than ever.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with your bigger resources to support an industry that provides you with so much information, so much culture, so much skill, and so much expertise in different fields, whether it's technical things behind camera or production, or if it's talent in front of camera? What are these big places going to do now?
Yeah,
we're all suffering, and they have the deeper pockets naturally to support our industry. So it's going to be an interesting time, and all I can hope and pray is that they realize that we're all in this together.
Yes.
Everybody is suffering. Everybody has lost something. And if we don't come together, people remember it. You know, people remember these times. And it's important to want to give and want to show what your core values are as a person and as a business. So yeah, that's what I would say in relation to us entering this new phase and seeing what people are really about. You know, we struggled before. Let's see what happens now. You know, we're all struggling together. Let's pull together and pull ourselves out the dirt and bootstrap and go back to how we used to do it.
And there is a power and a strength that we can all individually take from what you're saying, in the sense of what you said previously about nobody knows. This hasn't happened before, you know, and what happened with the Spanish flu 100 years ago, etc., isn't necessarily comparable, because society and environment has changed so radically in that time. And in that respect, yeah, this is a real unknown. And in that sense, because nobody knows what to do, it really levels the playing field for all of us. Because really what could happen in the next year, 2 years, is that innovation can come from anywhere. Mm-hmm. And as you say, in terms of how the big companies are going to respond, and whether this really was a box ticking exercise, or whether they see the obvious to people like us value of democratizing access and, you know, equalizing these platforms. How audiences interact with media, all media, is changing rapidly now in this kind of window we find ourselves in. And I think it's so interesting that, and I think it comes from our community in a lot of ways, where you see content created and owned by the community. So for example, GRM and Link Up.
Yeah.
And our communities seem to want to put them against each other in this kind of famine mentality. Whereas, and I've got a lot of time for Posty and Rashid and Ade and all of those guys, there's no reason. Our communities are diverse and large enough that they can be populated 1,000,000 times over with all of these platforms. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of content creation and gatekeepers coming from our community. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. And what's amazing, as you said, like we have platforms like GRM, Link Up, we have
Wall of Comedy.
We have so many up and coming platforms that are able to sustain themselves and people will tune in. And as you said, this is the tip of the iceberg. Like that's just 3 platforms that you've named.
Exactly.
I'm in 10 years what it's going to be, you know, and these places eventually, hopefully they get to the point where they have big buildings in central London and they can be the people that look like us and give us opportunities, you know, and be able to support our industry further, you know. So yeah, it's important for these gatekeepers just to keep on progressing and not put them against each other, like you said. Like we're all a big community. At the end of the day, people that watch Link Up watch GRM. Same people that watch GRM watch Wall of Comedy, but you know, vice versa. And I can't wait to see how that blossoms into something really special. We are at the infancy of content creation, in my opinion. So much scope to see where this thing can really go.
And it's moving so quickly. Like even me, you know, I'm old and washed now. I'm sure that there are channels that are really popular that I don't even know exist. And that's amazing. And I know you feel the same way about that.
Likewise, yeah, definitely. I'm getting old as well. So I don't know.
Thank you for joining me. I didn't know if you were just going to leave me on my ones just then.
So there's so many platforms that are up and coming that I just got so much respect for, and just seeing how they hustle and maintain the level of consistency that me and you know is so tough to do. You know, that's the hardest part. How do you remain consistent in this industry when resources are low, or you might have a bad couple of months or whatever? You still have to maintain that motivation to keep on going. So credit to all these platforms that are on the come up.
It's so true what you say. You know, shout out Purcell, Javan, Taff, Vashti, you know, all of these guys. Consistency has been the key.
Do
you know what I mean? I remember producing Man Them on the Walls live show at Hackney Empire, however many years ago it was.
Lug, just put that in there.
You know what I mean? The CV is online. And seeing these guys, and they're younger than me, but their work ethic and their drive for these, you know, they weren't kids, but they were young performers back then. You know, D and all of them lot. To now, and how they've evolved that platform, and how particularly, you know, those 3 characters have evolved into, you know, and I saw you just put something up on LEVILE about Van going into Doom Patrol again. I mean, it's phenomenal. And for GRM and SB, you know, Jamal and all of those guys, consistency has been the key to their longevity. In terms of your role in that, how do, for young emerging artists and creatives, what can they do now to prepare themselves for the industry's kind of reopening, recommencement, whatever we talk about? What can they do now to put themselves in a better position to start reaching these people or unlocking these opportunities?
That's a great question, by the way. Just like Javan, Percy, I'll use them as examples. They're young kids, right? And they came out of drama school or Brit school, whatever, and they decided, right, social media is this new thing. Let me use it to my advantage to let people know that I exist and showcase my talents. Their careers really started off on social media, and people underestimate the value of social media. And I always tell people, it's not having the knowledge, it's about how you apply the knowledge to whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like those two are key examples of using social media, whether it is their short films being shown on YouTube, whether it's them making content on Instagram, sharing videos or tweeting on Twitter. They made noise and we were able to see them and fall in love with their journey. Yeah. You know, every great thing has a story. And when you follow that story from beginning to end, or not even the end, we're not even at the middle part. We don't know where these guys are going to go or future actors are going to go. When you follow those stories, you fall in love with it and you want to be part of it and you want to see where these things can go to. So for young creatives, I'm just saying, use social media to your advantage. It's easy to get in contact with someone like Yamin or someone like me. All you have to do is shoot us a DM. We don't have 1 million followers yet, to the point where we can't see your messages. So get in contact with us and make sure you're working on your craft and you're able to bring a level of value to somebody. Don't just send someone an empty message saying, hey, what's up? Hi, how are you? Okay, cool. That's a good intro. We get it. But what value can you bring? That's what's going to differentiate you working and lapping up these opportunities. And I'm not saying that, you know, the other side of it as well, where you might be fresh, you may not have anything on your show reel, you may not have done any work, but you want to get involved. Okay, start networking sideways. Look at people who are on your level and try and create content with them. You know, you can still make stuff without money. You know, it's just about whether your content is good. That's what's going to determine whether someone books you or not. You know, I've booked people who have made short films on an iPhone because I saw their potential. They didn't need £10,000 to go and make an amazing short film. I just saw their potential and then I managed to book them for a major role. Yeah. So it's just a case of just work on your craft, use social media to your advantage, network sideways to build up your network. And just always remember, and this is a line that I say to everybody, there are opportunities within opportunities. And by that, I mean, whenever you go on set or if you encounter somebody, regardless of what they look like, treat that person with respect, because you never know what that person is going to say to you or who that person is. That person can impact your life in such a positive way. And you don't want to miss out on that because you had an ego or that person wasn't wearing Gucci belts or they didn't look rich or they didn't look like they were someone important. Sometimes the people with the most wisdom in the room are the most quiet people. So just always seek opportunities within opportunities. Do well. When someone gives you an opportunity, do your best. Leave a good impression. Say thank you. Go from there. And that's what I would say to young creators. Yeah. In preparation for when everything reopens. What would you say? Because it would be good to hear your perspective as well.
No, I agree with you completely. I think it's important for unrepresented or underrepresented communities of all kinds. I'm not just referring to ethnic minorities, or I'm not talking singularly about gender or race or sexuality or anything like that. I'm just talking about underrepresented communities in general. It's important that we don't use lack of diversity as a reason for us not to attain progress towards our goals. And what I mean by that is, and it's corny, and the reason cliches are cliches is because there's an innate value to them and you repeat them all the time in your head. But a saying I always go back to is a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And I think that a lot of particularly young creatives and artists, and particularly young creatives and artists from underrepresented groups can say, well, there isn't the opportunity there for me. And of course that's true to a certain extent. But then what are you doing to take full advantage of the opportunities that do exist around you? So for example, if you want to be the next SBTV or the next Wall of Comedy or whatever, what are you doing to further that narrative for yourself? And for example, do you go to LEVILE and chill? Because I know, and I want you to talk about this, and I know our time is getting short, but I do want you to talk about this. You guys at LEVILE have created an amazing live platform where you're bringing together people to do Q&As and discussions and panels and viewings and all kinds of stuff and share their expertise. And this room is full of people that you don't always see on your TV. or you don't always see on the big screen.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm a young creative or artist and I want to do this, and I live in London and I don't know about LEVILE and Chill, that's my fault. That's
Yeah.
my responsibility. I'm not doing the research I need. And things take time and doors unlock. But with that single step, I love what you said about an opportunity within an opportunity.
Mhm.
My whole career has just been a journey of unfolding narratives. You know what I mean? Like diverging paths, and I do this, and then something completely out of nowhere comes directly from this opportunity. And that's really always meant that I have to deliver every obligation and every job and every project I work on to the best of my abilities, not only because I'm proud about my content, but also because I never know what the next opportunity is.
Exactly.
And, and that is something that I know for a fact you live by.
110%, without a doubt. And expanding on everything you said, I agree entirely with what you said. And just expanding on LEVILE and Chill, as you said, if you don't know about that event, it's hard to not know, because the talent that we bring in and for Q&As, these are people that have been in your position. The Javans have come to LEVILE and Chill and spoken about his journey. You got directors like Kobe Adam, Kaide Awumi, who did Hood documentary. We've had so many people that have come to LEVILE and Chill to share their journey, to help the next generation of creatives elevate. And when you're in that room, you're next to actors who are on the same level as you. You're next to creatives who are on the same level as you, who are just trying to get to the next stage and are there to take motivation, take key advice to help progress in their careers. And more importantly, our LEVILE and Chill is fun. You will come there and have a great time. It's not just you come in, you sit down, you listen, you go. You come in, there's music blaring, you're networking, people are taking pictures of you. You're giving an insight into what it's like to work and be in the industry. And for me, people on my team, we do a lot of great things. And everybody looks forward to LEVILE and Chill. As in, that is the thing that everyone's like, I can't wait for that, because they know the energy is unmatched. It doesn't matter what building we put LEVILE and Chill in, the energy is unmatched. So it's important to know about, our event LEVILE and Chill. You can always check that out on our website. We put it out on our social media. So if you follow us at LEVILE TV, you'll be able to see any of our events. It's also on Eventbrite as well. So you can always keep up to date,
and that is coming back, isn't it?
It's coming back.
It's on hold.
Yeah, because to be fair, we're meant to have one in March, at the end of March, but obviously with the whole coronavirus situation, we had to postpone the event, which is fine. I don't mind. When we bring it back, we know people will be clamoring to to get in there. It's.
But also, just to add to that, like there's the chance that somebody can watch me and you talking right now, and think to themselves, "Shit, I didn't do that." And don't feel like this is us getting onto you. It's that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you can take that step any day, any time. You can decide to just change your trajectory.
Exactly.
I did. I know you did.
Definitely.
It regardless of what comes before, the second you change your mentality is the second that your circumstance, your ability, even your very ability to visualize opportunity and access people changes.
That's it. And what's so amazing about what you said as well, just elaborating on just being able to take that step and change everything. Right now is the perfect time.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time. If you've ever felt like I'm not going in the right direction, now you can zero in, listen to this conversation with me and Yamin, go on our platforms and find the motivation and the support system and the type of people you need, even just to nudge you in the right direction. And if you can't, look within yourself. Look within yourself and listen to what your heart is telling you. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Sometimes you may be surrounded by people who are quite negative. You have to make that decision to think, right, where do I want to go in my life? How do I see my future?
Yeah.
And then visualize it, like you said.
And everybody needs that.
That's it.
Because like I was having a bad week, and actually, and I'm not just saying this I feel better having had this conversation because
Yeah.
it just reminds you, and everybody needs that reminder every once in a while. The most successful of us, they need that push in the right direction, that gentle kind of embrace of just, we're in this together and you're not alone.
Exactly.
I know I have to let you go at 12. Where can the people find you? Where can they find LEVILE? Where will they know about the next LEVILE and Chill, etc., etc.?
Oh, sick. Nah. So yeah, guys, you can find me at Ola Christian. That's my personal Instagram, and it's the same across all socials. And for LEVILE TV, LEVILE TV, across all socials as well. And if you want to find out about our events, you can easily just go onto our website and see everything on there. But yeah, be on the lookout for us. We've got a lot of things going on social media. We do a lot of challenges and fun activities as well, so you can stay engaged. So yeah, just engage with us. We're there. We're there for the people. We're a people's platform. So yeah, that's
it. Like, we'll link everything below the video. People, reach out to Ola, reach out to LEVILE. One of the main things I love about Ola and LEVILE, I'm going to talk about you, not to you, is what you said about LEVILE and Chill. It's professional, but it's community, it's family. It feels like a real safe space. It feels like a home. Ola is about 8'4", you know, voice sounds like lava coming straight from the volcano. But as soon as I met you, Ola, I felt love. I felt love. I felt compassion. I felt energy. I love you, my bro. I love LEVILE. You know that what we're gonna do together in the future, I can't wait for. Thank you so much for being here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you.
Thank you. Honestly, true honor.
My pleasure was all mine. People, give us a comment, throw the video a like, and share. Like I was telling Ola this when we spoke last week, it's been amazing to see how you guys have been owning this video and just sharing it on other platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter and places like that. This is here for people, and also to other organizations, corporations, individuals from other organizations. Feel free to use this content. I want you to know now, although this has been created by Hackney Empires and LEVILE, you know, we're doing this in collaboration together. We're not precious about this. And I know I'm speaking on your behalf right now, about we don't care who uses this. If this is helpful to somebody, please take advantage of it. Drop us an email or send us a message. We'll share this footage. Just use it. Please feel free. Thank you. We hope you're taking care. We hope you're staying safe. We hope you're still staying inside. Regardless of what people are telling you right now, this is a very, very crucial time for us. So just exercise caution. And like Ola said, exercise, just generally, it's good for your mind.
Definitely.
I love you, my bro. Thank you so much.
Love you too, bro. All right, man. Thank you, man.
Love.